Good evening. Thank you for joining us for our August 24th regular session. We're going to have the invocation given by Councilmember Brucci and the pledge to the flag. So if you could please stand.
Dear Lord, as we approach the 20th anniversary of 9/11, continue your watch on those loved ones left behind, and cast your cloak of protection over those who this day are fleeing Afghanistan. Protect our servicemen and women and those who served alongside our service members as they try to find a new life free from oppression and fear. Keep watch over all who stand side by side to protect America wherever they may be. Help us to continue to serve our citizens in your ways. We ask all this with and through you. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will be following the rules of procedure that were effective December 15th, 2020. Please make sure that your cell phones are silenced. Any correspondence for distribution to elected officials should be provided to the city clerk. Our meeting schedule is as follows. Tuesday, September 7th, we have no meeting. Tuesday, September 14th and 21st, we have a work session at 4 p.m. Tuesday, September 28th, we have our regular session at 7 p.m. We have an appointment tonight to the City Ethics Commission for Matthew Schindler, term to expire September 1, 2022. If I could have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Up next, we have some appointments to the Hagerstown Youth Council. Lauren,
Madam Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Madam Mayor, I hereby nominate to appoint Natalie Asbury, her term to expire August 24th, 2023. Alexander Duncan, term to expire August 24th, 2022. Tanush Gupta, term to expire August 24th, 2022. Natalie Huaj, term to expire August 24th, 2022. Ela Murthy, term to explore August 24th, 2023. Manraj Singh, term to expire August 24th, 2022. And Hailey Taylor, term to expire August 24th, 2023, to the Hagerstown Youth Advisory Committee.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So I'm going to have all you guys come up front because we're actually going to swear you in this evening. Don't all jump up at once.
Just come up and just get in the line there across the room.
Say your name, you swear in your office. Repeat after me and say your own name. Okay? So raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, say your name, do swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance. To the state of Maryland. And support the Constitution and laws thereof. And the charter and ordinances of the city of Hagerstown. And that I will. To the best of my skill and judgment. Diligently and faithfully. Without partiality or prejudice. Execute the office of Youth Advisory Council. According to the Constitution and laws of the state. And then if you could, one at a time, sign the book beside your name over here. Second roll.
say you did, did you say advisory?
said advisory. I knew as soon as I saw it.
Look at the council. Yes. Look at the council.
Yes.
Mayor, keep them.
Can you guys stay up here, because we're gonna get a picture with all of us too.
You're gonna put them up there, Mayor. You're gonna put them up there. That way parents can get this. Parents, if you wanna get a picture too.
What? I was letting you guys go first. Letting you go first. I don't want to put my chair out. Not around.
That's your next Lisa.
It's Gene's second trip in here today.
We started and ended our
Yeah, it started here and ended here.
No.
Does say just get up on the riser there?
Yeah.
They're coming up.
Eric, how do you want to arrange? I'll let you.
How about this?
Vacation. There you go.
How about as a group, we guys just move over to center it? Okay, let's get tighter. Can we get tighter? Yeah, I think it's looking good. Yeah, how about the first row, tall
There you
people
go.
in the
Keisha,
back?
right there. There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
So,
There we go.
there we go.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Okay, and for me, good smiles and, hold on. Okay, here we go. Good smiles and 1, 2, 3. And one of just one. And here we go, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Everybody else time. There we go. Everybody. There we go.
You're just looking everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't have enough of those down there.
Tell them they don't have to stay.
Huh.
Make sure you tell them they don't have to stay.
All right. Now you gotta stay for the motions. Got our pins and certificates and.
All right, I'm just waiting on them to clear out. All right, up next we have citizen comments. We don't have anyone signed up to speak today, but I do believe we have 3 citizen comments via email.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor.
Mike.
Robbie wants to speak.
Okay, Well, after her, sorry.
What?
There were 3 emails received at the council comments for citizen comments during today's meeting. I will say who they're from and provide a brief summary of their topics and their concerns. The first one is from Ted Atkinson. Address is 308 Heb Road. He is concerned about the Harrison tract proposal, the negative effects of the additional truck traffic, deforestation creating major flooding, and pollution from chemical runoff.
That email will be posted to the meeting website for Hagerstown tomorrow morning. The second one is from Jenny Atkinson at 308 Heb Road. She also is concerned about the Harrison Track project with the increased truck traffic, the negative effect on emergency services and their response time. It could create major flooding, and there will be pollution from chemicals and asphalt. The third is from Betty Jo Schiffler. Address is 2017 Beaver Creek Road. She is concerned about all warehouses. She asked that the mayor and council reconsider approving all warehouses in the county. It's creating a loss of agriculture. There are many empty buildings all over the county. She's concerned about increase in traffic accidents, and she also questioned where the money is coming from to purchase these properties. Like I said, all three of those will be posted on the city's website under citizen comments tomorrow morning for today's meeting.
Thank you. And we do have one person here that would like to speak. Robbie, if you could just come forward, state your name and address, and then please keep it to 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Robbie Soto. My address is 3735 Sportsman's Road. The reason why I'm here today is the $716,000+ that is about to go to the Aris Investment Group. I came here today as a concerned business owner as well as a concerned citizen, and as a former general manager of one of their businesses, 710. The money that you're about to give to these folks, which is half in grants and half in loans to grants, is going to folks who have openly lied to banks for their mortgage loans, forced me to schedule nobody for 3 days straight, just so they can have the meeting with their bankers so they could get a forbearance and not pay their mortgage. So it looked like we didn't have money to pay any staff, which was a lie. I was forced to put 3 people on a schedule who don't have a legal right to work in the United States. And while I personally don't have a problem with helping folks who need help and giving them jobs, the reason for them being put on the schedule is, quote, because we can pay them less than minimum wage and still have them work harder than anybody else that works here. I was forced to terminate an employment of someone just because they weren't liked, even though they were one of the hardest working people and always there on time. And it was because they couldn't be trusted. And it just so happened that that employee was the only employee of color that worked there, African American, to be clear on that. I was forced to follow people of color through the entire establishment, people of color being African Americans specifically, because they were, quote, up to no good. When I brought this up as an issue to the owners, they said, quote, we're old school and we're hardly wrong when it comes to this kind of stuff. Not to mention when they call employees who voice concerns, excuse me, about any kind of maintenance issues or not having the right amount of equipment or safety hazards, they call those employees cancer, and they should be fired. I was also forced to, unfortunately, lie to the government on the shuttered venue grant. I was forced to forge false contracts that 710 never had with its with any of the contractees at all, so they could show that they lose money that they didn't actually lose. I was forced to cancel a contract recently with an American Idol finalist because they just simply decided they didn't want to do the event. 3 weeks before the event, they were still owed $10,000 to the company, which is Broadway Plus and Constantine Maroulis. I told them that per the contract, we still had to pay the $10,000 to them because we canceled within the 30 days of the concert. They said, tell them to try and sue and they'll never find us, end quote. Mind you, my nonprofit, which most of you know that I run, Authentic Community Theater, paid nearly $3,000 of that contract in a check to this company in order to cover a portion of the cost, which I have still not received back and have not received any contact back whatsoever. Speaking on the property management side, which is what the money would go towards to rebuild and stabilize the Hamilton building, I have had conversations with their property management team, and they said they couldn't wait for the stop on evictions to be lifted because they were, quote, tired of getting maintenance requests from their tenant. And also, when I asked them about this, how they were going to evict them, They said, quote, "There's always a way," end quote. They owe contractors tens of thousands of dollars in our community. I have called contractors to try to come and fix some of the problems at 710, where I was a general manager for several months, and several refused to even contact me back or call me because of the money that they were owed by this company. They owe vendors money, they owe employees money, including myself and others. They don't care about agreements, contracts, morals, or ethics. I've seen that in working for them for over a year. They care about one thing, and that's taking people's money. These are just some of the things I've seen and heard from this company. Giving them this money while I know you guys are backed into a corner with this liability is a problem. Make it a loan only, not a grant. You're giving money to people who don't deserve it and people who hurt your constituents in this community. And again, I know you guys are backed into a corner, but I urge you to find a way to make this, any way you can, to not make this a grant, and to find a way to make that happen. Thank you for your time. I know some of you are probably sitting there asking yourselves how I could work for such people. I had to pay my bills. And as soon as I was able to find other employment, I left, which was Wednesday. Wednesday I found a new job at the Washington County Public Schools, and I left Wednesday. So I thank you all for your time. I'm happy to answer any of your questions that you may have.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks, Robbie.
Wow.
All right, up next we have public hearing, 2021 Land Management Code amendments for breweries, wineries, and distilleries.
Hello. So this is the public hearing for our most recent Land Management Code text amendments for breweries, wineries, and distilleries. So just a little background, the city's economic development team has been receiving inquiries for breweries in downtown Hagerstown. And according to the Brewers Association, Maryland's craft brewing industry has grown from 25 to 112 microbreweries from 2011 to 2019. And adaptive reuse of old buildings is typically a favored property type for these uses. So, like I said, the Land Management Code currently does have provisions for small-scale breweries, distilleries, and wineries. These new amendments would increase the square footage in the definition from 15,000 to 25,000 square feet, and then would also increase the maximum square footage allowed by special exception in the CG, POM, IR, and IG zoning districts, again from 15,000 to 25,000 square feet. And then the amendments would permit use by special exception up to 25,000 square feet in the CCMU and C zoning districts as well. And lastly, would remove the prohibition on outdoor speaker systems. So again, the definition for small-scale brewery, distillery, winery would be an establishment 25,000 square feet or less in building area whose purpose is the production, storage, distillation, manufacturing, processing, distribution, and wholesale and retail sale of beer, liquor, wine, mead, and/or cider made from produce grown or produced off-site, and for tours, tastings, on-premise consumption of the products, and sales for carryout. The use may include transient food trucks to support the tasting room activity, and such establishments shall be in compliance with any and all local and state liquor laws and licensing requirements and health department regulations, and shall possess any and all license which may be required by Washington County, City of Hagerstown, and the State of Maryland. So again, the changes for the use chart, they would continue to be permitted up to 15,000 square feet by right in CCMU and C zoning districts, and then up to 25,000 square feet permitted by special exception in CCMU and C zoning districts. And then they would also be permitted up to 25,000 square feet in industrial buildings built before 1956 in CG, POM, IR, and IG zoning districts, again by special exception only. So that's again to just try to focus the activity downtown, but also again these uses kind of like to use old buildings, adaptively reuse them. So that's another option for people who want to do that as well. And then that's all the amendments. And then I'd like to enter into the record the file by reference, which is ZT 2021-02, and the public record will remain open for 10 days. And then I'd also like to enter into the record the certificate of advertisement. And we are accepting public input by email or phone. We just have supportive economic development staff right now. We didn't receive any input at the Planning Commission public hearing. That's everything I have. Do you guys have any questions?
Any questions for Megan?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No? Okay. All right. Approval of the minutes.
Mayor hereby approves the approval of minutes as presented for the mayor's council meetings held on July 13th, July 20th, July 27th, all 2021.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval for the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move that all the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. Under new business, an introduction of an ordinance to amend the code of City of Hagerstown, Chapter 10, Article XIII, entitled Hagerstown Loan Review Authority, to add qualifications of members.
Madam Mayor, I have a move for the introduction of an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Hagerstown, Chapter 10, Article 13, to add a Section 10-64 establishing certain qualifications for members being appointed to the Hagerstown Loan Review Authority. This code amendment will require the Hagerstown Loan Review Authority to be comprised of persons with knowledge and experience in fields such as banking, lending, accounting, or financial management.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a parking lease for the central parking lot with the state of Maryland for use by the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxations.
Madam Mayor, hereby moves the approval resolution to approve a parking lease agreement between the City of Hagerstown and the State of Maryland for the rental of 10 parking spaces in the central parking lot for use by the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation. The term of the lease is 2 years and commences on November 1st, 2021. The annual rent to be paid to the city is $6,720 and no cents.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a parking lease for the University District Parking Deck with the State of Maryland for use by the District Court of Maryland.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the approval of a resolution to approve a parking lease agreement between the City of Hagerstown and the State of Maryland for the rental of 5 parking permits in the University District Parking Deck for use by the District Court of Maryland. The term of the lease is 2 years and commences on October 15th, 2021. The annual rent to be paid to the city is $4,200 and no cents.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Execution of a residential lease agreements at City of Hagerstown properties.
Madam Mayor, hereby move that the mayor and city council adopt the attached resolutions authorizing execution of lease agreements between the City of Hagerstown and Dwayne Miller for the residence located at 12727 Ritchie Road, Smithsburg, Maryland, and John and Michelle Reinhardt for the residence located at 23510 Warner Hollow Road, Smithsburg, Maryland.
Second.
Takesha got that one.
You can have it.
I don't know, Donna, you pick.
God, that's further finish.
Pick one, that was pretty close.
Any
He
discussion?
giving it to,
Execution.
Oh, man.
there you go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a resolution, execution of a financial incentive agreement between the City of Hagerstown and Aries Investment Group LLC for 86-98 West Washington Street.
Madam Mayor, I have a move from the mayor and city council to approve a resolution authorizing the execution of a financial incentive agreement between the City of Hagerstown and Aries Investment Group LLC. The financial incentive agreement provides a grant of $358,053 and a loan to grant of $358,053 for a total funding of $716,106 to Aries Investment Group LLC for a building stabilization project for the Hamilton Hotel building at 86 to 98 West Washington Street. The approval provides that the city administrator and/or the city attorney may make administrative and non-substantive edits to the attached agreement if necessary prior to execution. A motion was approved by the mayor and city council on July 27, 2021, identifying that the funding will come from an FY21 transfer from the general fund to the Economic Redevelopment Fund, and stating that full terms and conditions of the funding would be outlined in a financial incentive agreement to be approved separately.
Second.
Any discussion?
I would just make 2 points to the comments we received this evening. The first is very pointed that you are correct. The city has frankly, as it has in past occasions with other buildings in our downtown, been pushed into a corner. There are not a lot of alternatives to find resolution that is to the benefit of the citizens long-term. And two, the arguments and perspective and points that are made here appear to be between the speaker and those other private parties that I'm certainly not in a capacity of any legal magnitude to opine on.
Thank you for saying that.
Ditto.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of resolution, execution of a financial incentive agreement between the City of Hagerstown and Gideon Properties LLC for the Holly Project at 72 West Washington Street.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the mayor and city council to approve a resolution authorizing the execution of a financial incentive agreement between the City of Hagerstown and Gideon Properties LLC. The financial incentive agreement outlines the terms and conditions for a grant of $750,000 for the Holly Project at 72 West Washington Street. The project will create 46 modern apartments with luxury features and amenities and an estimated capital investment of $11 million plus. The approval provides that the city administrator and/or the city attorney may make administrative and non-substantive edits to attached agreement if necessary prior to execution. A motion was approved by the mayor and city council on May 25th, 2021, identifying that the funding will transfer from the Invest Hagerstown line item in the Economic Redevelopment Fund, paid from 3 fiscal years beginning in FY 2022, and stating that the full terms and conditions of the funding would be outlined in a financial incentive agreement to be approved separately.
Second.
Oh,
Seconded by Bob is what I heard. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of resolution authorizing reimbursement agreement with Convention and Visitors Bureau, Inc.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the approval of a resolution to enter into a reimbursement agreement with the Hagerstown, Washington County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Inc., CVB, for construction of a portion of the skate park and fairgrounds park. The city will complete the construction and bill the CVB for the construction cost as outlined in the attached agreement.
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Amendments to the CDBG Annual Action Plan.
Madam Mayor, hereby move for the mayor and city council approve amendments to the Community Development Block Grant Annual Action Plans for the following actions. Reallocate $40,000 of CDBG funding from the Potterfield Pool Light Project to Fairgrounds Park Fit Room Bathroom Rehabilitation Project, and increase funding maximum from $5,000 to $10,000 for emergency repair grant cases. Full details of the CDBG amendments are attached.
Second. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a motion, letter of intent to enter into a lease agreement for the City of Hagerstown property located at 6 North Potomac Street, Hagerstown, Maryland.
Madam Mayor, we move for the mayor and city council approve the attached motion authorizing staff to execute a letter of intent based on the draft lease agreement with the Foundry LLC at the City of Hagerstown property located at 6 North Potomac Street in Hagerstown, Maryland. The proposed term of the lease shall be for 1 year with 4 one-year renewal options. The tenant may require assistance up to $9,700 for fit-out rental operations of the tenant space that will be determined at a later date. The approval provides that the city administrator and/or the city attorney may make administrative and non-substantive edits to the attached agreement if necessary prior to execution.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval to reimburse the Washington County Narcotics Task Force for fiscal year '22.
Madam Mayor, hereby move for mayor and council approval to reimburse the Washington County Narcotics Task Force a total of $380,000 for fiscal year '22. This is paid for out of HPD's operating budget.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval to accept the Maryland Criminal Intelligence Network grant.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for mayor and council approval to accept the Maryland Criminal Intelligence Network grant, which is 100% grant funded and totals $266,196. The goal of this grant is to focus on high priority offenders within our community with an emphasis on criminal networks and enforcement. This non-match grant has been approved and awarded annually for the last several years. It will provide salary support for a crime analyst of $29,315, a program coordinator of $60,034, HPD law enforcement overtime of $80,000, Overtime funding for the Washington County Sheriff's Office, $25,000 for collaborative enforcement efforts. Community-based prosecutor for $64,397. Human trafficking training expenses of $850. Gang scope software of $3,600. And human trafficking training registration of $3,000.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval to accept the police recruitment and retention grant.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for mayor and council approval to accept the police recruitment and retention grant, which is 100% grant funded and totals $29,290. The goal of this grant is for recruitment of new officers and retention of existing officers hired after July 1, 2021. This non-match grant has been offered and awarded annually for the last few years. The recruitment component of the grant will provide billboard advertising at $5,760, geographic targeted social media ads of $480, recruitment video of $7,000, television advertisement campaign of $5,000, final covers for billboards of $1,050. The retention component of this grant will provide $5,000 for new hires and $5,000 for college education bonuses. HPD will follow all purchasing policies.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of firefighter upstaffing.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the mayor and council to approval of 2 full-time firefighter positions to be hired to fill a recent retirement in the anticipation of additional retirements, and trickle-down vacancies in early, what is CY? Calendar year 23. This will allow for all new hires to begin training classes October 1st, 2021. Approval of this request will ensure that all will be available to be moved to shift work, minimum staffing, positions in the shortest amount of time possible for trained firefighters.
Second. Second, Donna.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of street closures, Jonathan Street cabin ribbon cutting.
I may hereby move for mayor and council approval of the street closure for the 400 block of Johnson Street for the Johnson Street cabin and ribbon cutting event on Tuesday, September 14th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Second. Tiara.
Second to Keisha. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Tiara.
Motion carries.
Your turn.
Approval of fiscal year 21 year-end transfers between funds.
Madam Mayor, I have been moved for mayor and council approval to complete the following year-end adjustments. Professional court extension project, transfer $250,000 from the general fund to this project, which represents local funding match for 2 federal grants awarded. Health insurance fund reallocation of prior surplus, transfer a total of $484,000 from the health insurance fund to general electric, water, and wastewater funds with each applicable amount received. MELP project, transfer remaining funding surplus of $67,568 to undesignated unassigned CIP fund balance to be utilized for any future projects that may go over budget.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City Administrator?
Mayor, I got a couple of things. The first would be just a notification of a new grant that's out there called Project Restore. Provide 2 grant opportunities for businesses that plan on opening or expanding into previously vacant spaces. There's a rental assistance grant up to $30,000 for 1 year for qualified small business, and then a business operations grant up to $250,000 per year for 1 to 2 years for qualified businesses. Applications will be are available online. The application is projected to be available online Wednesday, September 8th. We'll have this information on our website for anybody to check out, but it's dhcd.maryland.gov, and you can find the link from there. Also, this weekend, City Park 100th anniversary celebration. The music will start at the band shell at 4 o'clock with Joe Fulton Band, followed by the municipal band at 7. The fireworks will start around 8:30. The municipal band will let out early enough for folks to be able to leave the band show and go see where the fireworks, be able to see the fireworks. And they'll last about 12 minutes. And looks like that'll be a decent weather and a nice time. And lastly, there's an employment fair at the library, 2021. On Wednesday, September 1st, from 12 to 5, Washington County Free Library. Bunch of folks are going to be there. Looks like, wow, about 30 agencies and companies are going to be there. That information, if you go to hagerstown.org, you'll be able to find that information there and on the companies that will be associated there. That's it for me.
Can we hand some of them flyers out to some of the people panhandling on the corner?
No, yes, of course.
Councilmember.
I don't have anything.
Kiara.
Oh, sorry. So thank you to Eric Dykey, Ronnie Tissue, Stephen Bachmiller, and City Administrator Scott Nicewarner for meeting with me to discuss the need for improvements to Wheaton Park. We are encouraging all residents that are near Wheaton Park, that live in the community, to join us August 31st at 6 p.m. at Wheaton Park. We all agreed that it's important to hear the voice from the community itself. There's a flyer on the Hagerstown Parks and Recs Facebook page, but Keisha and I will be distributing the flyers door to door for those that do not have access to Facebook. And again, August 31st at 6 p.m. at the Wheaton Park to give your feedback, ideas about ways to improve the park, and there'll also be pizza.
Ooh,
Yes, thank you.
I'm
Kristen?
in there. I'm coming.
What's that?
Do you have any comments?
I do. I apologize, I do have one comment. I can't find it at the moment, but I'm pretty sure, and I apologize. So regardless of who it is in the chambers, I believe that we exercise a certain degree of decorum in these chambers, which do not include the besmirching, if that's the best word, of individuals, whether it be from us or other private parties that would come and speak. So I think that in the future, at least for us as a body, when that does occur, we just should nip that in the bud before it begins, because it's one thing to speak on the matter of a deal that the city may have or an item that the city may have before it. It's another to come in and sort of chastise the private character of an individual that doesn't belong in the dialogue of this room.
I agree. Thank you.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Good.
Is that it?
You're learning me.
Keisha?
I got nothing.
I don't have anything tonight.
All right. All right. What? Go ahead.
I do have one, I'm sorry. Just, yeah. Between now and Friday, you'll see a switchover on East North Avenue and East Avenue, going from two-way traffic to one-way traffic. Please pay attention, okay? It's coming. I know that people on those streets have been clamoring at me for 20-plus years, so it's finally happening. So please pay attention, and let's make the transition go smoothly. Thank you.
You good now?
Good.
Okay. Just want to start out by thanking the members of the Homeless Coalition and the Health Department that came and met with us again this morning, putting all the organizations' heads together to figure out some solutions for how we can move forward as a community and help out the people that need it. Also, thank you to staff and members of the community who gave us a walking tour today in the Mulberry Street area to take a look at some of the issues they're having and find creative solutions. And lastly, I just wanted to send some love to the family of Ian Harshman. Most of us up here know him as the owner of the Art Gastropub. If you don't know him as Ian Harshman, the owner of the Art Gastropub, you most likely know him as Ian Carey, who was a pretty famous world musician. He sold over 10 million albums. He had a couple #1 songs, and he even had an Australian VMA. So we were lucky to have him in our community. He came here from Miami and chose to come home to invest and had a really big vision for our arts and entertainment district. So he passed away this past week, and sending him and his family lots of love. With that, we're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.